everybody, and welcome back to Heidi's house. I am your host, Queen Bee Heidi B. And in today's episode, our featured guest is Kings with Hearts from UK. He is an artist and music producer. So, are you ready to find out more about his house journey? Then let's go. So, here he is. Kings with Hearts is in the house.
Right.
Welcome,
How you doing, Miss Heidi B? How you doing? You okay, yeah?
I'm good. So, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you very much. I'm been looking forward to speaking with you and having a catch up,
Yeah, very
talking about
wonderful.
music and life. So yeah,
Yes, how is UK today?
it's all right. It's lovely and warm. I've got well, not curtains, but things closed. So, but it's outside. It's really lovely. I've been for a run today. Went for a run. I woke up. I got stung on my lip by something during the.
Oh,
It is what it is.
all right.
Are you okay?
Hey, I'm still happy, even that happened, that you are able to attend to this
Yeah,
interview.
I've got honestly, my lips all swollen. I don't know. It's just something's bitten it during the night. Full of insects. I live in the countryside, so there's insects everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
the
yeah,
nature's
no,
calling
that's
all
right.
around you.
Nature calling. That's right. Yeah. So yeah, it is what it is.
So I'm very happy and grateful of having you joining into this house music podcast and be our featured guest. And I mentioned to you before when I told you about this podcast that this is a very short kind of snapshot kind of
Yeah,
interview, giving a little glimpse for the people and audience of your artist profile and
yeah,
how you influence in the house music scene, so to say. And
yeah.
then in the end, um, we're gonna have a little mini mix that is containing
That's,
some of your releases. So I'm looking
woo,
forward to
woo,
that as
woo.
well. So,
Wicked.
if you're ready, I'm gonna just
Yeah.
continue straight ahead to the first question.
That's
Ta-da!
in. Question number one. Let's go.
Question number one is, tell us a little bit, who is King Sweethearts?
Okay. Well, my actual name is Chef Hart. And King with Hearts is a new production name that I've been writing and putting music out since the last 3 years, really. Things have picked up the last year more so, last year, 18 months. But yeah, I've been producing music for a long time. Kings with Hearts is a new production name. But in the past, I've had music out under artist production name Max Morel, Heavy Hearts, Rockwell D. I'm just trying to think if there's any others. Yeah, basically, released on many labels over my career, uh, and I started producing and taking music seriously in the late 90s, early 2000s, when I was part of a record label, and I used to run a distribution company in London, and spent most of my days running around London, all the shops like you might have heard of, Back Market, Uptown, all the big ones, Vinyl Junkies. And my job basically was to put vinyl into the record shops. So, when you go into a record shop and you see the, on the thing, how it used to be, or if it still is, my job was to get your record on there.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's how I started off, and then to production just slowly built up over the years. And as I said, I've put out many releases on labels such as Head Candy, Warner's, Cheap Thrills. There was UK's biggest dance label at the time where I was putting music out with them. I'm just trying to think what else. Loads of labels, too many to mention. Memory doesn't work as good as it used to, Heidi B. But yeah,
I
so
re-
basically,
I will
you
remind
know,
you. SNS, of
the
course,
great
because that's our joint
and
family.
SNS, yeah, right, and more recently, of course, yeah, SNS Records. Big up Steve Silk Hurley, DJ Skip, and Zonum and all the crew. I've just also released on Victor Similarly's Unknown Records, which was a great thing for me because you know, a few years ago, I was speaking to Victor, and he said, "Do you want to remix one of my works?" And he offered me his whole back catalogue, and that's a true story. He said, "Which one do you want to remix?" And I picked, I was going to do Cloud9, Do You Know What Me Baby, but I thought that's been done quite a lot. So I chose I Can Hardly Wait, which is out now on Tracksource, by the way, Miss Heidi B. Did you know that?
Yeah, it is. Amazing.
Yeah.
It's on fire. Really weird,
So, yeah.
cool track. And I'm going to be playing it,
Does
you
that,
know. That's
so I
what
hope
I
you
say.
answered the question. Basically, Kings with Hearts, what I'm about is about new music, helping new artists and artists, existing artists, and just, you know, trying to connect with people like yourself who have a right mentality and a right way of looking at the music and house music. So yeah, that's what Kings of Art's about. But I've been around the block more times than a tramp's dog. So yeah.
You've been around for a while.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
Then if we go back to that memory lane even more,
Mm-hmm.
what was it that got you to house music? Why house music? What would you say?
Well, I used to be into back in when I was at school, it was what a music called hardcore, which was like which then went on to form jungle music, you know.
Yeah.
So I remember when I was at school, it was hardcore, it was some really good music. One of the leading, which is quite funny, one of the leading artists of hardcore at the time when I was in school was Shades of Rhythm, you know. They went on to be global, had multiple UK hit records. So yeah, I used to be influenced by their music. Then it went on to jungle, and then I used to go to a night called Thunder and Joy at the Raw Club on a Sunday night when I was still in my last year of school, so I shouldn't have really been going, but you know, it is what it is. And that was on a Sunday night, so we used to go on a Sunday night and get the first train back because trains used to start at 6 o'clock from Central London back home. Get in, have a shower, and then put on my school uniform and go and do my last year of high school GCSEs, you know, on a Monday. So all day I'd be like that. But when I was there, when at that time, then the garage scene really took off in the UK garage scene. And I think that also introduced a lot of people to house music, people that, you know, that listen in say the mid 90s and that UK garage and that kind of that movement that was in the UK. I think that put a lot of people onto house music as well. It introduced them to the sound, and then people look further into it and realize, oh, there's a lot more. But
Yeah,
yeah, does that make sense?
it
So,
does
but
make
really, makes sense, yeah. But at my heart, I'm a soulful house guy. I love soulful house music. The music I produce at the moment has a soulful element, but I also like the way the technology has moved and the advancement in sound design and bass sounds and, you know, the bass heavy stuff. Try and balance it up, you know, and does that make sense?
it does make sense, and I can see it and hear it in your productions also, that you have that wide variety of genres that you like to explore, which
Yeah.
is a fantastic thing.
Basically, the way I summarize the music I produce is I try to make music that has a message in it. You know, every record has some kind of message. Even an instrumental, you can put a message in the title of an instrumental to, you know, put that into. Does that make sense? You're back to, you know, so yeah.
I was just lightened suddenly.
You're
Sorry.
back. Yeah, no. So yeah, that's basically. Does that make sense?
It
I
does.
got into yeah, trying to find a mixture of the two. Everything has to have a touch of soulful, I believe. You know, to uplift people's spirits and give people that freedom of them in their mind while they're listening to your music for 3, 4, 5 minutes, whatever.
Yeah, a beautiful, beautiful synopsis, so to say. And I'm gonna just change a little bit the light.
Go on, there you are.
Oh, well, sometimes these technical things happen, but it's okay.
It's all right.
So now I'm gonna go to more inspiring part of the interview. So I'm gonna ask, who are the artists that have inspired you the most?
Right. There's so many artists to put your finger on, but I suppose artists like artists who who take the test of time and still are relevant, even though they might have started to put music out many years ago. Do you know what I mean? People like Victor Sinelli, of course, he's still very relevant. Masters at Work, DJ Gregory. There's so many artists, that personally I've been listening to and still listen to over my career. But there's some of the greats, but I also like a lot of the new stuff. I listen to a lot of new music and by new artists. You always have to keep up to date and keep an eye on what's going on, because there's some really, really great new there. So it's not always about the people who have influenced you from yesteryear. It's can also be about people who are influencing you right now. It's just as important. Yeah.
True, very well put. And now, if I explore that a little bit further, and I know that this has been always very kind of a tricky question to anybody joining this podcast, but I'm still gonna ask. What would you say? What are some of your favorite house tracks that you always seem to return to?
Right. Now, I've watched some of your podcasts and I've watched this and I knew this question was coming up, so I'm prepared. Okay. So, for me personally, there's so many great artists, great producers, XYZ, right? One thing I would say to anyone producing house music, garage house music, is 2 albums, by Disclosure, that I always listen to personally. And I've told many producers this as well. 2 albums that you should reference and listen to and really discover is Settle and Caracal. Those 2 albums by Disclosure. Now I say that because if you listen to their production and the work that they put into those 2 albums, it's of a very high level. So when I'm going to remix, or if I get commissioned to remix for an artist and I need to get serious about it, before I enter or do the remix, I always go back to those 2 albums and listen to those. I have favorite tracks, obviously, but the reason why I say those 2 albums, because if you listen with those albums, it's what they take out of the records throughout the record that gives it such a high level of production. So Settle and Caracal by Disclosure, 2 albums that if you're serious about music production, you should listen to and get deep into and examine.
That's a
I was
great,
prepared.
that was a great answer. And I'm sure that people watching this who are into production and house music, of course, in general, but especially I would say the production with that thing in mind. That was a very great advice to share. So thank you.
I'm telling you, 2 amazing albums, 2 amazing albums that put them where they are today. You know what I mean? And there was two young lads when they put them out, those 2 albums out, and they're related, they're brothers, so there's a bit more, so I would suggest anyone who hasn't heard them albums, go and listen to those 2 albums.
Absolutely. Now, all right.
So next question. Am I under arrest?
With hearts, stamp on it.
All right. Okay.
Official endorsement.
That's right.
So now I'm gonna ask that question that you also probably knew that was coming. Out of your own productions, what Or is there some particular track that stands out, and why?
Yeah, there is, funny enough. There actually is. So many years ago, I think it was around 10, I remixed for two artists when I was signed to Cheap Thrills Records. Trevor Loveys, who's a pioneer of the UK house scene as well. Like, he was influential. He was around the time with Switch and all that, you know. And I was, yeah, it was a remix for Trevor Loveys, but it was for an artist called Patty Yang. Now, Patty Yang is one of the most successful singer-songwriters to come out of Poland, and she's got many great credentials. She's worked on films, she's written music for the Bond films and XYZ. But I remixed for her and Trevor Loveys, and that is one of my favorite remixes that I've produced, or one of my favorite works that I've produced for anyone. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've heard it. I'll send it to you after this so you can have a listen. But
All
yeah,
right.
the
Yes.
record was cool. The record was called The One, funny enough. We got a record out called I Am the One, you, me and you. But this record many years ago was called The One. And it was kind of like what I liked about it, I done like a part, a symphony part, which was quite nice. I surprised myself with that as well. So yeah, The One, and what was I? I think I was Max Morel at the time, my production name. So yeah, that's my favorite work that I've ever done. I'll send it to you after this so you can have a listen.
Yeah, yes, yes, yes. I am more than happy to listen. Is it a house style or something
Yeah, it's
else?
house. It's like a broken beat kind of record, and it was released on Cheap Thrills. I'm just trying to think if it ended up on any compilations or anything. I can't remember, but it done all right. Yeah, done okay. And Trevor
Maybe.
Loveys, if anyone who knows their house music in the UK knows who Trevor Loveys is.
Yeah,
He's a legend in his own right. Do you know what I mean? So it's good to
true.
do that for him, and obviously Patty Yang. And I'd done that remix, and I think it was a year or two before she actually supported Depeche Mode at a massive stadium in Poland. So she's very, very well respected. Patty Yang, go and check her out. Yeah,
Go and check her out, and I might be then afterwards include that track also in the mini mix.
that's right. You never
You
know.
gave me a challenge in a meeting there. Why not? I will take it.
Of course, that's right.
Uh, that was an awesome answer to the question. And now it kind of bridges to the next question. If you think about your long career so far,
Mm.
what would be some of the highlights of it in your music
Okay,
career?
well, recently, obviously, releasing on SNS Records, that was a good moment for me, considering I've only got back into music production in the last, say, so that was great for me, great achievement. I also put the project together and got international remixes on board as well. So we put me and Paul Varney, myself, shall I say, we put the whole project together, which was a good achievement. And then obviously the remix for Victor Sim of his amazing record, I Can Hardly Wait, which originally was released on 8 Ball Records, a legendary label in 1993. So to do that for Victor was great. And also as well, when I had my remix, Four Shades of Rhythm, who I mentioned earlier. So when I was at school and I used to go down the park drinking with all the school friends, as you do when you're young, and we would be
Yeah.
listening to Shades of Rhythm on tapes. Bear in mind, we'd have one Walkman and listen to it, and Shades of Rhythm would be prominent on those tapes. Luckily enough, I remixed for them later
Yeah.
on in my career, and then I had Cole Cox play that remix that I'd done for Shades of Rhythm
Yes.
in his headline set for the 20th anniversary of BBC Radio in Ibiza, which was
Mm.
a big moment for BBC Radio 1 and also a big moment for me. Don't ask me how that happened, but it did, and I'm very grateful for it. I'm very grateful for it. I don't know Carl Cox personally, but if you're watching, bruv, thank you so much for that. Yeah.
Shout out
So
to
yeah,
Paul Cox. Yes, shout out to him.
yeah.
And hey, you
And
mentioned
one other thing, sorry. Sorry, there's one other thing as well. I actually had Sister Bliss from Faithless, you know, from the band Faithless.
Yeah.
Yeah, she supported one of my records years ago that I produced in 2010. It was a deep house record, and she opened her Ministry of Sound radio show with it. And at the time, she was the world's #1 female DJ. So there you go. How about that? How about them apples?
Yeah, there
So
we
yeah.
go. There we go. I just wanted to
So
add
that's a good
here
moment for me.
that you really had that honor of making a remix for Victor Simonelli that you mentioned, one of the
Yeah, that's right.
highlights. And
Yeah,
the
that's
record,
definitely.
it's like 31st anniversary now, if I recall
That's right,
correctly.
yeah. So the original record was released in 1993. It was like an underground. It was one of them records like that's 5 in the morning would come on and it just, you know, give you that last bit of energy before you go home. Do you know what I mean? That's what it was known for. So yeah, like I said, he offered me his whole back catalogue out of nowhere. Like I was thinking what to get back into music because I took 10 years out. I didn't produce anything, didn't get involved in any music. Just walked away. And at the time I walked away, I was signed to the UK's leading dance music label. Just had music out on Head Candy, Dim Records in the States, Steve Aoki's label. And then I just had some personal things and I just said, you know what, I need to focus on what means more to me at this moment. So I walked away from music. So then to come back into it and then have someone like Victor reach out and offer me his back catalogue, he did. He offered me his whole back catalogue, said, choose whatever you want. And I went, I
Yeah.
put a blindfold on and went, I can hardly wait because I thought, I don't think anyone's done it. I could have closed Cloud9, you know, do you want me, baby? But that's been done,
Yeah.
eh? So, yeah, take on the
That,
challenge and make sure you do it right.
yeah, that's an amazing blessing that you had there, an amazing story itself, you know.
Yeah. So it's a blessing. Let's say it's a blessing, a proper blessing.
It is a blessing. And
And Victor's a cool guy.
thank you to Victor Simonelli for trusting you with that,
Yeah,
and
that's
you did
right.
amazing job.
Thank you so much. You know, yeah. And yeah, it's just, I believe if you get opportunities in life, you know, take them
True,
and try and make the most of it, you know, and don't
exactly.
make excuses.
Huh?
And don't make excuses. Someone
Yeah,
offers you something, a challenge, and you think it's a challenge, don't make excuses. Just keep quiet and get on with it and deliver.
yeah. It's enough with the procrastination. It is enough with. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly, but that's the
That's right.
same. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you do your best, and you evolve while you keep doing your
Yeah, of
thing.
course,
That's
exactly.
the whole beauty of
Yeah,
it as well. It's
yeah, I
learning.
agree with you totally. As a producer, as an artist, as anyone, a creative person, you should always be challenging yourself. The only
Yeah.
real competition you have in this game is yourself. Right, exactly. Yeah. Don't worry
Mm,
about what anyone else is doing because not everyone's gonna like what you do. Right. I when in my early career, I'd spend so much time focusing on other DJs, producers, and trying to craft, get my sounding to like their records.
mm,
And at the end of the day, no, you know,
mm.
do yourself. And I was mentored by Joshua Hervey, he was called. He was the head of Cheap Thrills Records, right? This was in 2007, 8, 9. He would mentor me. And at the time he was mentoring me, he was quoted in Rolling Stone magazine, you know, the big one in America, and
Yeah.
DJ Mag, as one of the best remixes to ever do it in house music. And he just had a hit record, and he was releasing records like Mars by Fake Blood. Do you know what I mean? Really big anthems, stuff with jack beats. So he told me, you know, never focus too much on watching the top dog because when you walk behind and concentrate on the top dog, you're only ever going to see is behind, you know? So if you think about it, right, he said, so don't focus too much walking and trying to walk behind the top dog because all you'll ever do is stare at its behind. So, you know, focus on yourself. I know that's what, and that's two words. And that's
It's
coming
a
from a,
great It's a
Yeah,
great
that's
advice.
what the advice he gave me. And at the time, as I said, when he was mentoring me, so he would ask me to do a remix and I'll send it back and he would say, chop that, shave that, cut that down, top a minute off, the bass is too hot. He would give me production advice. So, and at
Yeah.
the time he was giving me that advice, magazine, DJ Mag was one of the best remixers. So it was valuable information, which I would share with anyone. Never focus too much on the top though, because all you do is stare at its behind, and it's not a pretty sight.
Amazing advice, and great to be shared to anybody, working on artistic field, or in
Mm,
any kind of field. If you think about it, I mean, it's a different thing to be mentored, like you said, and different thing to take influences and so on. But the people who stand out are the ones who do their own thing. We always have
yeah,
that unique way of using and using our natural skills and potential and everything, and that is what
yeah,
makes you stand out. Of course, we learn, but the mix, what you
yeah,
produce, and the mix that I
yeah.
produce out of this, that's the unique thing, and no
That's
one
right.
can do that. So
That's
so
right.
trusting that, it's very
Yeah,
important.
yeah. Trust in your heart. I get. I never when you're making music. I think with me, I don't know about everyone else, but when I'm sat down and I've putting a record together and I'm doing the mix downs and the X, Y, Z, it gets to a point in my head and my heart where I think, right, that's it, that's done now. It's got to a point, and that's it. It just you get this thing. I don't know if you get it where you just know that's it now. That's done. It's
Yeah,
just you could otherwise you can overcook stuff. Do you know what I mean? Something just you have to have that intuition. That's it now.
yeah,
That's done. Let's put it out into the world. Because at the end of the day, the industry is here to provide music to the public. It's the
mhm,
public that actually make hit records.
yeah,
I've been involved in 2 top 20 hit records, a classic garage record as well that we put out years ago. And what I learned from then, it is the public who make hit records. The industry is there to provide music to the public. We are part of the industry. The public are not. They are the end line consumer, the people who buy the music. So always
mhm.
remember that it's actually the public that make hit records.
True. True. And now we, well, I was about to ask about your personal contribution to the house music community, but you shared um, so many insights already that I'm gonna modify it a little
Go on,
bit. What would
think
you
on your
say?
feet.
Ah, yes.
Think on your feet.
What is
Go on.
what what is in your uh, let's say it like this. What is the message that you would like to share to your audience through your music and works?
Always, yeah. What I'd say is never be afraid to put your music out into the world. And when you're putting your music out into the world, start at the top. Yeah, send your music to the top and work your way down. It's not worth sending your music to DJ Doormat round the corner that plays at the pub. Yeah, send it to the top and then work your way down. And as you're coming down from sending out, you being ignored and whatever. But if you work your way from the top downwards, you're gonna get a hit on the way down. Rather than starting, it's all good. Your friends telling you that you're good and you're great, but at
Mhm.
the end of the day, you have to social media and XYZ. You have to have a fan base and you have to have followers and people who genuinely like your
Yeah,
music outside of your personal space. Because everyone's going to tell you, all your friends and family and people close to you will always tell you you're the best. But is it not? Is it the truth? Do you know what I mean? So if someone you don't know is telling you that yeah your music's good, then that's the real testament. So I'd say to anyone, yeah, that's start out. Don't be afraid to send your music out. DM, email, labels. Connect with artists. And aim for the top. Why not? We live in a very fast-paced society where everyone's accessible now.
yeah,
It's not like back in the days where you'd see, or only a certain collective of people were approachable. Now everyone's approachable, but make sure your music's of good quality.
Yeah, that's the thing. Quality first.
Okay.
Quality over quantity.
Quantity, that's right, that's right. To be honest, like I'll tell you the secret, like over my career, because I'm not only just been a producer, I've done a lot. I used to, run a record label and distribution company. And I've been in the trenches, going in pressing plants and pressing up vinyls and doing what you got to do. I've done all that years ago, you know.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say now. Basically, what I was going to say is just be confident with your music and understand it's the public that make hit records. Don't be afraid to aim for the top. Try and reach out to who you can, but always make sure your music is of good quality. Because, like you said, it's quality over quantity, and that's my point. Over my career, I haven't actually released hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of records. I've just always made choices to release on good quality labels that accept me as an artist and what would work for me. And like I said, when I was on Cheap Thrills all those years ago, some of the people that you see coming up now, was releasing on the labels, big artists like FOMO at the time. He's now one half of Gorgon City. I watched him from when he put his first record up and was DJing in a pub. I was there watching it. People like Melee, who's on Defected now, started out years ago when it was Fidget House, Carl Watson. There's so many names that I could mention who, started back then, and I've watched them as they develop over time. But the main thing that gets those people to where they are is the consistency and quality of their music, not the quantity, the quality.
That's a great thing to finish with. But
Am I doing all right, Miss Heidi B? Am I doing okay?
you're doing okay. You're doing excellent.
Right.
Thumbs up. We have maybe 2, 3 more minutes left. It's very little since this is a snapshot kind of interview, but I'm gonna
No worries.
just ask you if you share very briefly about your current projects or upcoming projects.
Right now, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I've got so much music out in the world,
Mhm.
and the label will just hit me up and say, "Oh, it's up on Traxsource. It's that." I've got a lot going on, and obviously, I've just done a radio show. So I'm looking to go back onto EXT in September and do a radio show, and maybe pick up on the DJing thing. Because I've done all this in the house music industry, scene, whatever you want to say it, and I've never been a DJ. I've just been like, it's not like, don't get it wrong, I don't sit in my house in front of the computer for the last 15 years typing away. It hasn't been that. No, I'm not there just like that. Like, it doesn't work. I do have a life. But, I'm going to get back into the DJ. And obviously, projects, I have a project with yourself. I Am the One, which we're shopping around at the moment, trying to get that signed. Plus a couple of other projects we're talking about. I've just got loads of music out there, and all just go Traxsource, King of the Parts, Traxsource, and it's all there, self-explanatory. But I've got remixes that I've got to do for people that I've been keeping them on a at arm's length for a while, which I've got to finish up. Record for a personal favour for a friend in Glasgow that I've got coming up, a soulful house bit, talking about some music with Paul Varney that I need to finish. Record with DJ Miko that I've been sitting on for about 3 months. He's done like 80% of the work. I just got to put it together. So I'll get that done. Loads of stuff, and always making new music. So whatever comes, really. You never know. The future's bright, the future's orange, as they used to say, right? There you go. See? There you go. There you go. So yeah.
But that sounds very, very lovely and active, and we are so excited to hear about all of those new releases. And of course, I'm very excited personally to be able to collaborate with this track now, I Am the One, and then our future collaborations.
That's right. Yeah. Miss Heidi B. Don't tell them too much.
Yeah, let's keep them in anticipation. All
That's
right. So, last question. If somebody would like to know more about you, where can they find you in social media?
Well, wait, I just basically tend to use Instagram. So it's just Instagram, Kings with Hearts. And then SoundCloud. I have a SoundCloud because I have a mixtape out actually, which was done, produced, and put together by my good friend Mystic Dubplate Matt. So that's a compilation mix, 20 of my original productions mixed by Mystic Dubplate Matt, who is obviously a legend and pioneer of the UK garage scene. So big up Mystic Matt, done that for me. And that's, I think it's Kings with SoundCloud, Kings with Hearts 2024. We don't confuse things. So Instagram, Kings with Hearts, SoundCloud, Kings with Hearts 2024. And everyone's telling me about TikTok and that, but I don't know about that. Do you know what I mean? I'm quite content with Instagram. Does me all right. That's right. Not
No choreos.
all that in any time soon. So yeah, Instagram, cloud. So that's it really.
All right.
And obviously, yeah.
Like you mentioned, also you have bio in Traxsource, and
Yeah.
people can find out also more.
Yeah. Oh, yes, that's right. Traxsource as well. My Traxsource, obviously, Kings with Hearts. Traxsource, Kings with Hearts. And then you'll see my profile picture up there and on all that stuff. Bio's up there. So, yeah, you can read up a bit about what I've done. And, yeah, man, that's it. Traxsource I've got as well. And others. There are other downloading sites available, yeah. So.
All right. I think that does it for this time. Who knows, maybe we will have a follow-up interview at some point.
When we have
Yeah.
our number one global hit record, we can do this again, yeah?
Exactly.
Before we accept our Grammy, we'll make sure we do another round of these, yeah?
Yeah. All right.
All right.
But I thank you dearly for this again, and thank you for everything, you know, for your collaboration, for you taking part to this podcast, and for your friendship, and you know, all the support that you also show to me as an artist and fellow person there in the music industry. And you know,
and can I say, I'd like to
yeah.
thank you for this as well, for doing this. It's been nice, lovely, as always. And yeah, you know, plenty of good music from yourself and myself to come in the future.
Yes. So thank you again, and sending you much love and blessings.
Hey, Heidi. Love. Okay, love and blessings, yeah?
Love and blessings. Take care.
All right, take care.
Bye.
See ya.